placement from he is one of the most cognizant players right now.
To have that reaction when the heavy spec comes in.
My God.
To just know that that's going to happen. Mongrel takes out Hupek. Man, Mongrel, every time I see him in a position like this is so scary for all these players. Look, he even takes an RPG shot in the middle of all that pressure on high ground. He has 2 of them, Lupa. I'm not sure why he has this.
Double rocket is the strat. Didn't you know that? Come on, Balla. Get with the times, man. Mongrel literally thinking 5 steps ahead of everybody else at this point. 64 points. Everybody, just look at the number. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That is so nice, actually. The time to get that reload off when you're on high ground earlier in these moving zones. Now it's through the 8. He does manage to get that reload off, and nobody expects a double RPG. Nobody.
Honestly, it does kind of blow my mind that Mongrel's embracing 2 rockets right now. Mongrel and Boyer, a little face-off here. Mongrel's reloaded. Those rockets do take quite a bit of time, so he's going to try and load those ahead of time in case an engagement like this one shows up. Gets a light tap there with the pump shotgun.
No more mats, though. That's why he couldn't actually fight for that, because he spent so much time reinforcing that. Does get the RPG just barely through the stairs. He's going to make an edit down and now start pressuring. But remember, no mats, and another shot does not connect there. Does try. Did knock him all the way down. That player falls.
The fall damage down to 4. He's got 4 HP.
Oh,
catches Omer off guard.
The stink grenade, though. He needs to get out. Yes.
He's still in it. 3 builds left.
Going over the hill, though.
He's going to have to utilize other players' structure at this point, reloading those rockets. He's still sitting on 6 shots between the 2 of them.
Okay. It's not actually going over that hill. It's going to start going down. He actually needs to break a hole through so that he can continue his path down and get through cover. Yes, 2. Barely. 2 HP. Are you going to do this, Mongrel? No way. No way can you survive in this situation.
Jamming himself underneath the structure, he might actually, his head might have been poking through the floor. He's staying just ahead, just out of sight. Does the player see him? I don't think so. The drop in. Gets the shot off and gets the elimination. Mongrel literally putting on a clinic of why you need to pay attention to what's going on.
Everybody?
Are you kidding me?
Just fell.
Picks up 3 balls.
Launchpad, he's going to launch pad off. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? 13 eliminations. There's still 4 players left, including him. Add it down! No way are you doing this right now, Mongrel! No way! Top 3 situation now. Gonna get the time for the minis. Still needs to find 2 more. Not sure who he's fighting. It's Alec on high ground and then Zur. He actually, Mongrel, took down every single player that we talked about earlier in the lobby. And now reloading the double RPG as well. Zur is going to go down in another one. Mongrel, are you kidding me? There is no way you just did that. All right, see you, Lupo.
I gotta go. I'm out. For real, are you kidding me right now? That's absolutely ridiculous. The awareness in the storm.
Always on the high ground. It's like it's the number one thing that the top players go for at all times. No surprise to see Mitro up here right now. Players going to be landing on him. Quick shot does miss right there, trying to keep this high ground build up, but he can't get too high up. Thankfully, he has the cliff right there to fall down on if needed. 8 players remaining to beam with that legendary infantry rifle, continuing to keep his high ground. Great placement traps down. 65 total builds left at 16 points so far in this first game.
Yeah, the poison trap did fire. You heard it go off there. That's 80 straight damage going through, bypass the shield, so picking up an elim there. Now going to go to work from the high ground with that RPG. It's going to be incredibly hard to contest him now that we're into that 9th circle. The zone is so narrow that because he already has high ground, he can just keep raining down shots. Ons goes down. That's 7 elims already, and he's into the top 3.
Top 3 with the high ground right now. Mitro continuing to rain down terror with this legendary rocket launcher. Another one comes on through. Midnight desperately trying to stay alive. That's a quick shotgun tag there as well for Mitro. 1 player still left in a baller, I believe, did just either rift or launch pad up above.
Yeah, did get rifted up to have that amount of height and
nice
go
shot.
back down, but Midnight's going down. So it was Craquito who was in that baller, and Mitro can actually reload and get him with the RPG because of how low it is. Craquito tries to grapple back up, but loses the high ground. Mitro's just going to try and position him out here. You have Mitro in the top right, Craquito in the bottom right, wide on the left-hand side here.
My goodness, what a performance so far for Mitro in this one. Drops the campfire down. Craquito trying to dodge these rocket shots from coming on in. Health advantage still to Mitro. Craquito has all the materials in the world because, you know, they spend most of the game in that baller, but whips the build for a second, drops all the way down, and now it looks like it's Mitro's game to win. There it is. Yes, the health was ticking down, but in the end, it's not enough for Craquito. And one of the 3 players you mentioned, Sundown, Mitro, victory royale and 9 eliminations, a monster performance.
Yeah, and you see Yeah, just try and knock that out there. Make sure it's out of play as you see now how the rest of the lobby is laid out as we move into the top 5. So all about the Elims and the victory royales. Insane on the high ground. Benji working through the low ground.
And Benji using that natural, expedition site that's already there as cover. Gives him peace of mind as he tries to push on forward. Does get a quick fight with Pure. That's an elimination right there for the 50 extra HP. One player with a bush nearby.
Yeah, and the bush is actually really solid in this circumstance when people are peeking, as long as you don't, quote-unquote, waste it on an SMG shot. If you're able to kind of soak up a single pump shot with that, has insane.
Wow.
Goes down. Zilot knocking him down from the high ground, and he's not able to catch himself in time. Super unfortunate there. As now, Zilot in your top right has the high ground. Benji in the bottom right on the low ground. RB just above him, but with little effective HP.
And now with the zone moving down the mountain, whoever's in the high ground will have to begin to waterfall. You see Zealot knows that. Immediately drops out into Arby's builds. Arby with not a ton of health.
Yeah, and Zealot has no builds either, so he's reliant on whatever RB has. Benji throwing up the boogie bomb, but like we said, that respects LOS. But RB dropping down onto Benji, does still have that push, but gets shredded off, trying to push through. Benji does convert, 25 HP, puts the trap down, will it fire? No, does not go off. The player sidesteps it. Can Benji get back in the zone? Yes, he does, 5 HP. Zealot now in the top right, he's looking for Benji, he knows he's low, doesn't find the shot.
No builds, he can't match this build-up. Does Benji Fishy, but he did. He's blocked out of the zone. Benji Fishy, 5 HP, gets the job done. And look at the amount of mats left. We talked about 150 builds earlier. It's like so it
actually sprays against walls and players better. So in these tight quarters situation, it's incredibly valuable, and he's showing it here. Now he does have a pump shotgun. The toolbar is not showing that, but able to clean it up there.
That was almost a perfect bait. Right there, the player thinks Anxious is going to keep on running now at 12 eliminations. Instead, edits through both the ceiling and the pyramid. 12 elims to this point. Top 6 right now. Anxious looking for what could be one of the top performances we will see all day in solos. If they can secure this victory royale. Eskil still alive on your screen. Only one build left, so smart play from Anxious following this enemy build up to this point. You see frantically spinning in circles, looking for any chance at an elimination. You can't go any higher up. They don't want to go all the way down because at that point you have no chance to really build. That's it for the builds. It's now down to just pure gun skill. There's the shot and the elimination. Beautifully done. Materials now on deck, at least enough to build with for the next couple moments. That'll actually get him to the high ground. That's a game-saving play, Sundown.
Game-saving play, and also pushes him into the top 5 as well, and gives him the campfire. So now he can just hang out on the high ground and wait. Everyone else is going to battle it out as Awalane is able to pick up 2 elims on the low ground. But Anxios is just sitting pretty now, has high ground, 10 builds. Awalane, he has the health advantage as well. I mean, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to not take this away.
Yeah. Anxios going for it all right now. The spray comes in with the SMG, the wall replays, the shot, the elimination. 14 elims and the victory royale, Sundown.
Tucson, 1 elimination, 55 points, and with only 6 left, being in the situation that Tuce is in, you can see everyone. Anxios, the bottom, does go down, looks like to a rocket. Chrono down with him, probably picks up all the materials and ammunition, anything that is being carried there, the shots.
High ground fight. It's going to go in the way of Tuce. Nice play there. He's going to manage to take high ground, or hold high ground. Core Gaming going down to orange. Now it's a 1v1v1. All down to this as Tuce goes way down low. Very fast as they're fighting. They're all fighting right now. One player goes all the way down, and Tuce actually won it.
The only one left standing. The fall and exposure for orange there, the trade of elims so quickly, it went from 3 to 1 like nothing happened.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I think Tuce actually knocked him out from below. When he broke his way through the box, he actually knocked the floor out as well. Or one of them with their shots.
It's like not picking up an elim for fall damage, 8 players left. But waiting up above and just timing that shotgun shot is extremely important. And it's actually rather easy to do on some of these players that are stuck in boxes because the field of view doesn't allow them to see that high and where they want to look down below. Picking up a back-to-back. Kristen, Rojo, both going down. Majin establishing the top here.
There's
one player directly above.
There's a 4-point swing for him too, pushing him into the top 5. You have Santo is single. You can go be single back in the lobby. Osmo in a fight with Plenty on the low ground, picks that one up, but needs to get himself back in zone. So now 3 players left. Osmo on the low ground looking to find campfire and then turn the stuff to X Skewer. trying to find whatever space he can. The campfire, will it be the difference? It is. The campfire ticks are the difference for Osmo on the low ground. We say every point matters. We say every tiebreaker matters. Sometimes every campfire. From 29 players to 19 on that rotation up Old Man Mountain.
A big shift there, Mr. Savage. 2 eliminations. Going to try and move into this opponent's box potentially. He's looking just to make a rotation in the safe zone. Storm damage way too big at this point. Got to stay ahead of it. 32 builds remaining. Does have that grenade launcher, but no ammunition remaining. Got to look for some rockets from a player. Potential elimination in the future. Only 28 medium rounds too, but quite a few shotty shells. Close range engagements. Going to be totally fine on. Building up and staying ahead of these layers. Gets shot on a player trying to rotate in from outside the storm. I assumed out of the gate, Mr. Savage said, that's my elim, pushes forward and gets the bop from above. Stuck right there on a ramp, right on a little ledge. Gonna take quite a bit of storm damage. You gotta get out of that as fast as you can. Najee with the ultimate high ground right now. Still a handful of ballers rolling around in this match. Najee picking up another elimination. 23 points. We're at top 12 now, Sundown, with the next circle potentially being one of the worst here because of the position right on the edge of Polar Peak.
Yep, and again, another player utilizing the zip line to try and get a little center on the zone, but Najee putting on a clinic here, fragging his way into the top 10. Wixie also picking up Wolfies, but Najee gonna get able to utilize that jump pad to go over on the side. Thinking about it right now, but still sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ballers on the low ground, 7 ballers on the low ground, but now the Splodes are coming out, and those are half HP, so the AoE damage will break through anyone that is under the threshold. Need to be aware of that.
Every single baller is under the threshold.
Yep.
One rocket could drop 4 ballers in one shot. Absolutely ridiculous. Lets you with 5 elims. A ton of builds and an established position above everybody else. You're going to see these little movements forward. They're going to just kind of nest their way out, and it's time to start popping those. Forcing players to engage each other is huge at this point because you don't necessarily need the elims if you can't get them, last second shots, that kind of thing. It's fine because you put players in an engagement no matter what when you break the ball out. Oh,
got fall damage. Got it with the fall damage anyway because we are over the side of Polar Peak. Lets you with the heads up play. Now, don't forget the players in the ballers will have a ton of excess materials if they've been disciplined with their rotation. So this will be a very dense circle. Everyone building with metal and brick. And that's Tohaj picking up Azrog into the top 5. 38 points for him. Does have Mr. Savage over on the side. Doesn't look like the player had any mats either. And Tohaj takes that trade out, hits the better pump shot on the day, saying, you can be Mr. Savage, but I might be your dad.
The stink grenades in this moment, especially these close, tight circles. That's why they are so lethal in the very, very end game, because there's nowhere to go. You're either stuck in a stink or you push out in the storm and take even more damage. Najee, the top down here, 3 players remaining, trying to slowly drop down. You don't want to be too high in case somebody knocks out the branch that you're on. But Tohaj, all the way to the bottom, and Lechi applies all the pressure possible, dropping down at the same level now. Najee seeing the opportunity. You're not going to see players wait, especially when you have a top down. You just wait for these players at the bottom to fight it out. There's no reason to not apply pressure right now, and Lechi down to no shield. Just HP remaining. Najee has the key to push through this box. That heavy snipe may come in big in a second, but taking a ton of storm damage. 30 gets the shot, and Najee, the victory royale. Trying to squeeze out just a little bit more movement. A player inside is going to push in and surprise them. Does get a big hit with the pump shot there. The quick swap, the edit on the ramp to reverse the direction. And tick goes down. Mr. Savage picking himself up to 169 total HP.
Yeah, Alliance tickling going down there, but that rotation over the side, not using any utility, and to get in front of the zone, basically uncontested, was just so smart game sense-wise. But right now, he's got Boyer hawking him directly above him, following Mr. Savage down, but Coco is directly behind him, giving Boyer a difficult time. So Savage drops down into the fray, saying, nuh-uh, I want nothing to do with that. Gonna cone himself up, and now look to find a target. This is something else we haven't seen as much so far this week, but I know it's just the final start. Players opting to hide in cone.
He got a shot on him as he goes to the launch pad. Mr. Savage, that community launch pad, did not want anybody else to touch it. But like you said, these cone placements, it's a really good way. You just push yourself inside the cone, you hold the edit, you can look all over the place. You don't have to worry about anybody blasting you like that, Nate. Paying the price there, already qualified, but still an excellent player. And they can keep going for the money if they've already made it to, if they've already qualified for New York.
Yeah, all about still getting that prizing in there. Also getting practice, getting reps. You don't get better practice than this. Again, if you're new to competitive Fortnite, you're probably not used to seeing zones this dense, but this is what all of these end games are about. So watch and learn as you can watch some of the best of the best go to work. Mr. Savage putting a prime example of it here. Just, you know, right now he's just a random cone that's building through. Does have the campfire down though, so a little less of the surprise attack factor, but he's safe. He's covered. He's not going to get caught out in one of those rotations, and he's moving early. This is something both him and Benji Fishy do so well. Even when they don't have utility, they find spots to rotate and make room for themselves where they aren't threatened. Now into the top 15, so 9 points already from this match.
42 points total from Mr. Savage, picking up. Every time I feel like I say that, they get an elimination. I need to keep saying that. Well, anytime a player that you really enjoy is on screen, Chad, just tell me to say their name. Apparently they get an elim. Savage pushing his way up the hill on the outside. There are so many big names still stuck in this game, though. Motor from Fnatic, Tomo from Alliance. You have so many more all the way up top. Majin dropping down on the screen now, almost on cue. It is ridiculous how competitive these games are.
Yeah, every single player in here, a beast of a player in their own right, and you see that VR Nate taking out Plixie and immediately double edit onto Motor like he's picking off targets in a target practice map. No problem, and again, finds the heavy step. Can he convert onto it? Goes for the AR spam, gonna jump out the side as his build actually gets cracked and knocked down, hits the 67 headshot, gets the AR swap. Zewetski going down as well. VR Nate single-handedly eliminating the lobby in his way to the top 5. It's all about the eliminations, the victory. You gotta get back in the circle though eventually. 10 HP, has to find a siphon, cannot get touched by the zone, is looking for it, but now he's pained. It's so awkward, but Mr. Savage goes in and he gets the spray as well, but no, Marco converts onto it. Was not quite enough, was able to spray down the player above, but Marco taking advantage, goes down, drops and
like
picks
you said,
it.
Xenovi is going back to the lobby and up on the highest of the high ground, Benji Fishy. Mr. World Cup himself, he's already qualified like we said before. He's looking to just accrue more potential prize money and or practice.
Hits all his shots on that opponent. Not enough with the long range shotgun to take him out, but here's that rift goes off, looks to the skies, and he is dialed in right now. Z getting so many accurate shots, totally tracking them perfectly. We do still have a baller on that low ground. I believe I saw one, yep. Q going right off the mountain there. Kuzumaki,
yep.
Yeah, Kuzumaki. But Benji on this high ground, he's going to have to do a little bit of waterfalling down. That's when the players build the walls and the floors to drop down. Does still have that jump pad too, so he's in a great position now, has another opponent making these rounds below him, and these two ballers trying to hang on to the mountain, take as little damage as they can, but Storm is strong.
I think he has put himself in the best possible position because right now Benji Fishy has to dive down, and it's so far that if he looks up, he can potentially get shots. We're gonna see if anything can come through. Now keep in mind,
so much health.
Benji, yeah, he's got the health advantage. He's got the heavy sniper as well. He could potentially blow through this person's builds. Right now, they're looking to make a play. It's down to 5 HP, the difference.
Yeah, Benji, insane job there.
So what's interesting about those as well is if you're in a baller and you're kind of boosting around, this place space is so small, you can be sending yourself back into Storm, so you're taking free damage. So it's a give and take a little bit, but a nice elim from Mitro there over onto Verox, his third one.
Push right now, Zeke. They're going all the way up the hill. The ballers are making it no problem, but being underneath that cliff puts you in a precarious spot. Mitro deciding to go around all these ballers, but he's got to be careful. They can jump out at any moment.
Yeah, and like you're saying, at any moment they can literally just hop out of the ball, take a shot, hop back into that ball. It can be very, very scary for a lot of these people. Markel here currently occupying the highest of the high in the high ground tarp. Loadout not ideal for it right now. Gray and a green. I mean, it's going to get the job done.
I mean, all he needs are those pumps.
That's true.
All he needs is to land the pump. Speak of that, pumping a player out of the sky, has full health, full shield, ultimate high ground right now, able to rain down shots on his opponents, and he's jumping out now, looking to maybe start coming down onto this low ground, get aggressive. He has one elimination that we've seen him pick up. The spectator client is not updating that right now, but any point counts.
Zenok gets cracked there from that baller. Now he's in a tough spot. And down below, we see Wakey going down. He was up at the top of the leaderboard not that long ago. Mitro is critical right now. And we hop over with Theg Kaza, who's got the stink grenades. These items become so valuable toward the end game. They just blanket the entire play space. Look at all these players. That's one coming through. He has an extra stink grenade as well. He can send it up, he can send it down, and just completely disorient a lot of these players. I don't know if he knows previous is down below. That's why he may be opting to hang on to it just in case.
Yes, and like you said earlier, this is just an item that goes up and up in value. Anytime that he gets to use that now, it's almost a guaranteed elimination, especially if he was able to spot Miko above him. And we got Markle, ultimate high ground, all of these players following it out, Confetti taking out Miko, but now he's got Xenox to deal with, who gets dropped on by Markle. Kaza looking to make a play for the high ground. Markle dropping down on top of him, maintains that high ground. Previous going down to the storm. Kaza and Markle in a 1v1 situation, and Kaza going down to the zone. Markle unable to pick up the elimination, and did Markle just end on a 0 elimination, or he was the one that didn't update the 1 point, right?
Yeah. So again, just a little slight
and now Black Suit here with 2 eliminations, has an impulse too. We're seeing a bit of an impulse trend today. Ooh, gets the edit and the shotgun shot, takes him out.
That's Lestream's Black Suit here. I mean, you know, also one of the Lestream boys, a very, very talented player. We seriously can't, again, top 3,000 of the region who fought through the gauntlet to be here. This is the best of the best. Every single one of these players, guys, all looking to punch a ticket to World Cup finals.
Oh, did you see that?
I don't know. I was looking down below to think all these players need to move up or they're going to lose their lives.
Yeah, Blacks is so low health. You saw him use the impulse onto the hill. Does get taken out by Hikana right now. All of these guys needing to rotate up that hill while taking the least amount of damage as possible. Confetti sitting in that ultimate high ground, getting so many clean shots in on these players while they make that rotation. We're back on T-Chub. Saw him earlier, getting the shots on his opponent through the wall, using the AR to focus him. I don't know if he saw the player on his left side.
I don't think he did.
Neither did he. Didn't see him either.
They just, like ships in the night pass by each other. Will he upgrade to the gold pump? Nope, he says, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm just going to keep on moving through. Look at the lobby. It's been cut literally over half. We're down to 7 players remain. 2 more need to fall for the next top 5 and placement points available. Now the question is, can T-Chub pick up any more eliminations along the way? I'd be curious to get a bird's eye view of all of the action, because this is getting pretty tight right now. It's pretty claustrophobic.
It is pretty claustrophobic. And with the way that T-Chub's playing right now, I bet you that he will get more eliminations now. Has access to those shields. No health healing though, so he will not want to go into one of those heal-offs at the end. Gonna probably need to play a little bit more aggressive near these final moments. You see that dot on the mini-map on the bottom right-hand screen. That's where the zone's going. Makes a bit of a play up into this high ground. Ooh, and does get the elimination. Almost got stolen by the high ground.
Finds it over on Markle, and they're going to flush him out of his positioning. Over on Joy, finds another elimination. 3 players remain, Kitty. He's dropping down because he doesn't know where these players are. He's trying to find them. No! And Thomas completely shuts him down, and a stinker goes up, and Confetti making all the players pop into Confetti from above, sending everyone back to the lobby. 4 elims over onto you. Look at all the
55 points. The power.